Greetings everyone, this is Elizabeth, and today I am here with the Fairy Stamper video design team, and we're going to be using some Fairy Hugs stamps which can be purchased at the Fairy Stamper store, and I will post links for all the goodies down below in the description. And today we're just gonna play with Oliver. He's this beautiful owl right there. And then we're also going to use both of the hanging vines to make our own little tree for Oliver. So for Oliver, we do need a mask so that when we go to do some ink blending, we don't cover in his wings with color, because we want to use colored pencil for that. I'm using an A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. The front panel, which is what we're going to decorate, is 4 by 5 1/4. So first thing we're going to do is get Oliver placed on the paper. And it doesn't have to be a perfect stamping, because we're going to use some colored pencils to go right over the top of it. I'll be using my Prismacolors today, but all you have to do is stamp and test your colored pencils. Quite a few will work. So I'm gonna put Oliver not center, kind of over and there. Pretty much anywhere you want. Give a nice even pressure. Let it sit there and get happy with the paper for a few minutes, seconds, not minutes, and then peel. And so we've got some little bit of spotting, and again, that is okay, because that'll help some of the colored pencils show through even more. We're just going to give him a nice little cleaning, because the VersaFine Clear, the black ink that I use, does stain. And that's okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put Oliver's mask on now, and then that'll help the next layer of stamps and stuff not get in his fur as well. So my hanging vines will look like they're behind him. And I like to cut on the inside of my mask so that when I put it down, I get some of the black that's already stamped down. That will help prevent the white halo. There we go. Get that all on there nice and beautiful. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stamp a couple of the hanging vines on. And they don't have to be perfect, but on the hanging vines, it comes to a point. I don't want that point. So I'm going to stamp the inside part. Okay. So I don't need that, because that's going to be on my branch that I'm going to create for Oliver. And these also don't have to be perfect stampings, because we're going to kind of go over them with some colored pencil as well. And then just inked up the part I didn't want inked up. This one, I think I'm going to tip it just a little bit. Nice, good, even pressure. That's a lovely one. And then one more of the big one. And we're going to let it cross over a little bit right there. Ta-da! All right. So we're done with the big one. 3 simple stampins. Nothing too drastic today. Just a little friendly owl to send a hello or a thinking of you. Okay, our second hanging vine does the same thing. It tapers off at the end. But what we're going to focus on is this part, just the tip, where it's nice and open. Okay, and so we're just going to ink the tip. Okay, and then we're just going to shoot them upwards. Let's make this one look like coming in from behind him. Okay, this one's going to be a big one. And then we can see through the block, okay, where the ink is. So I can easily line it up with the leaves down below. And they don't have to match up perfect. Okay. And then we're going to shoot this one off that way. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of these leaves and just kind of add right where the bad stamping was, just to give it a little bit more. And we're going to make sure this is nice and clean. Just going to add just a little bit more right there, just to shoot it off the page. There we go. Nice and clean. Clean our stamp so it doesn't stain too bad. Get that out of the way. Okay, now we're just going to grab a fine liner pen and we're going to draw him a branch. Okay. And it doesn't have to be a straight line because tree branches are not straight. What we want to do is see his little claws here. So I'm going to go just above. Not with that one. Hold on one second. All right, let's try that again. So we're going to find just the top of his foot and just draw a squiggle line on out the page, just like so. And then we're going to extend through the bird to the other side. Okay, not a straight line. And then I want it to be a big branch because he's a big bird. He's not going to sit on a tiny little branch. So I'm going to bring this branch, maybe a ½ an inch or so. And it's going to be right at the base of his toes. And then I'm going to go up to meet this one. So it's a very long triangle shape. Okay. Now we're going to follow that same path. And we're just going to draw some squiggles. And they don't have to be straight because this is our bark. Okay. And we'll go through and color that brown. And just kind of fill it in. Just like Oliver is, where he's mostly black with a few spots of white. Just like so. There we go. And that's that. That's his little branch. And if you want, you can make it come down, because I've got a finger smudge right there. So I'm going to say this tree comes down and then goes up and off the page. Because trees taper, they're not perfectly cylindered. They're not a toilet paper roll kind of shape. More of a cone shape. So there we go. That's all we need. Okay. Now, before I do my ink blending, I am going to color my tree and use the colored pencil wax to be a resist. I don't mind if blue gets in my tree leaves because that will blend well with green. Okay, and I just pulled a couple of shades of brown and this reddish, it's Tuscan red, but it's more of a reddish brown to me. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to do light pressure with this first pencil. Get this color nice and laid in there. Nothing too drastic. Just follow my branch. Right down the side where the rest of my tree is. Then I'm going to take this second color and I'm going to push a little bit harder. Just so that color can mingle with the other color. But I'm not going everywhere with it. Just some places. Now my third. Again, I'm pushing pretty good so the color fills in all the spots on the paper. Burnishing is what this is called, when you push hard enough to smooth out your paper and the colored pencils. Let's get that all nice and wooden-like. Okay, and Prismacolors and some other wax-based pencils are good for putting on a resist, because then you can just wipe the ink off, which is what we will be doing here very shortly. All right, so we have that all nice and colored in. And now I've got two kinds of blue. I've got Salty Ocean and then Clear Skies. They're different companies. Let me zoom out just a little bit for you guys. Okay. So Clear Skies is lighter than Salty Ocean. Okay, let me make sure I clean that off. Just wipe whatever's left on my brush on there. And we're going to swirl in this. And I'm going to start right on Oliver's and just make a circle right out. Because this is my lighter blue. So we're just going to swirl it out. Just like so. And now we're going to grab our Salty Ocean, because that's a darker blue. Oops. Get myself all inky. And this time I'm going to come in from the edges in. And I want it kind of blotchy. I don't want it perfect because it's my sky, and I like skies that have some character, so it's not perfectly smooth. Maybe there's some hint of clouds in there. Then we have this nice little fine halo. Get a little bit darker in the corners here. There we go. Okay, let me clean my mess and I'll be right back. All right, cleaned up and swapped out the browns for some new browns to color in Oliver, and then picked a couple of greens for the leaves. And we're going to gently peel Oliver's mask, because I can reuse this a couple of times before it loses its stick. And there he is. Look at him. Okay. Let's go in with some greens, and I'm not going to be careful. I'm just going to throw in some color. Follow the little branch line a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just give that hint of color all over. And color pencils do go on top of inks very nicely. They even go on top of alcohol inks. Just know that whatever color you lay on top will be changed by what's underneath. And that's why I'm not worried about doing the blue, because yellow and blue makes green. So we'll just get different shades of green. Come in with my darker green and just follow some of our stamping. Going with our browns, and I think I'm going to start with the dark and follow the dark parts of Oliver. Oliver all done on his quick easy branch, quick easy coloring. And you can see it's not all colored in, it just adds that extra interest. Like love it, love it, love it. So all we have to do is mount this little happy guy right to his card and get it in the mail. And I'm just gonna use my Barely art glue, and I'm gonna do a thin line on the outside, very thin. Okay, your liquid adhesives, the thicker the glue, the more chances that it will show through to the other side. We'll have a little bit of wiggle room, so I'm not gonna push anything down just yet. Get it nice and centered. Fabulous. Flip, smeesh, and there we have it. One finished card, and nothing too crazy. Just a nice, easy, fun stamping card. And you get to try your hand at drawing a branch. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you like fairy stamper videos, and check out all of the other inspiration. We have playlists and everything that you can check out here on the Fairy Stamper channel. If you like my work personally and would like to see more of what I do, check the link below and go check out my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you all so very much. We'll see you next time. Have a great one. Bye-bye.